In this season, God is leading many of us to go back. The places you are refusing to visit, the situations that happened to you, the trauma you experienced, the shame you never went past, God is making you to go back there. When God was saying, can these bones live again? Ezekiel said, thou knowest, Lord. If you read it in the original Hebrew text, it doesn't say thou knowest. In the Hebrew Bible, it says you knew, Lord. So why was Ezekiel referring it to God, or speaking about it, replying God as though it is a conversation they've had before? So what Ezekiel was doing had to take me back to Genesis, to the first time bones were mentioned. It was mentioned when the Bible says, and God took a bone from the side of Adam and he created the woman. You then begin to see that the reason why Ezekiel said you knew, Lord, is because bone was the substance from where life was produced. The first man came from the dust of the ground. The next human being came from the bone of the man. So inside the bone is where the foundational recipe and ingredients for life creation was. Now somebody sent me a message and said, but Pierre, the Bible says the life of a thing is in the blood. And then by the time you do further study, you realize that blood is formed in the bone marrow. So even though the life of a thing is in the blood comes from the bone. So you then begin to realize that when God was saying, can these bones live again? And he says, well, God, you know now bone are life. But you see, the problem was the valley was filled with dry bones. And I began to say to them that this is the season where God is calling your valley of bones back to life. Because it is your essence and your substance that has been buried in a low and a dark place. Nobody uses their clear eye to go down into a valley when there's a mountain top. But God is saying, in this season, you must address your valley. You will go down. Ezekiel said, he took me by the hand and he led me and he made me to walk past the bones. Because of Ezekiel's own strength and will, he will never have done that. In this season, God is leading many of us to go back. The places you are refusing to visit, the situations that happened to you, the trauma you experienced, the shame you never went past, God is making you to go back there because you are praying for a miracle in your future. But God is saying all your resources are in the valleys of your past. Go resurrect your army. Go back and resurrect your business. Go back and resurrect your personality. Because it was the personality he gave to you. You used to be a man that knew how to talk to people. You knew how to walk a room. You knew how to, all of a sudden, something happened to you. You failed. And after that, you changed. And it was almost as though you no longer have favor like you used to have. The problem is that situation, that circumstance took your essence from you. And so all you have is a valley of bones.